Welcome to the NBA's greatest games. Today, we'll take you back into NBA history and relive one of the great matchups as it happened.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 1 of the 1982 NBA World Championship Series between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now let's meet the Western Conference champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. In his first year from the University of Michigan, number 40, Mike McGee. In his first season from Missouri, number 34, Clay Johnson. In his sixth year from Rutgers, number 5, Eddie Jordan. In his ninth year from Minnesota, wearing number 8, Jim Brewer. In his fifth season from Arizona State, number 54, Mark Landsberger. In his 11th year from the University of North Carolina, number 11, Bob McAdoo. And in his fourth season from New Mexico, number 21, Michael Cooper. And now for the starting lineups. At forward, in his first year from Santa Clara, number 31, Kurt Rambis. At the other forward, in his 8th season from UCLA, number 52, Jamal Wilkes. At guard, in his 5th campaign from Duquesne, number 10, Norm Nixon. At the other guard in his 3rd season from Michigan State, number 32, Earvin Magic Johnson. And starting at center in his 13th season from UCLA, number 33, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 2 Lakers who are injured and unable to play in the championship series, Mitch Kupchak and Kevin McKenna. Trainer Jack Curran, assistant coaches Bill Burtka and Mike Tebow, and the head coach of the Lakers, Pat Riley. And now the Eastern Conference champions, Philadelphia 76ers. In his first year from Cleveland State, number 14, Franklin Edwards. In his second year from Detroit, number 25, Earl Puritan. In his third year from Seattle, wearing number 4, Clint Richardson. In his 12th season from Toledo, number 50, Steve Mix. Now in his 9th campaign from St. Joseph's, number 42, Mike Bantam. In his 7th season from Evans High School in Orlando, Florida, number 53, Darryl Dawkins. In his 6th season from Arizona State, number 9, Lionel Holland. Now the starting lineups. At guard in his 4th year from West Texas State, number 10, Maurice Cheeks. At the other guard in his 2nd year from Southwest Louisiana, number 22, Andrew Toney. At center in his 9th season from Albany State, number 11, Caldwell Jones. At forward, in his 8th season from North Carolina, number 24, Bobby Jones. And at the other forward, in his 11th season from Massachusetts, number 6, Julius Erving. Trainer Al Domenico, assistant coaches Jack McMahon and Matt Kukas, and the head coach of the 76ers, Billy Cunningham. It's Game 1 of the NBA's World Championship Series between the Lakers and the 76ers. So the Philadelphia 76ers, who gained considerable character and respect throughout the country with their gutty 7th game victory at Boston. And I'm sure that the 18,000 plus here at the Spectrumville never thought they would be here for this Game 1 of the championship series, although the Lakers knew they'd be here. They just had to wait 11 days to get started.
I think the guys on the 76ers thought they would be here. You know, the practice before that 7th game, for a team that was such an overwhelming underdog, they were really loose and confident.
Mickelson, who normally has a front row seat at the Forum in Los Angeles, has come 3,000 miles. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the dominant players, if not the dominant player the last decade, will jump center against Caldwell Jones. And we're underway, Game 1, Championship Series. The Lakers are in their purple and gold. And Magic Johnson, guarded by Andrew Toney, will get the matchups early for you. And before that, a steal, Mo Cheeks. Second in the league in steals. That's how Philadelphia gets started. And Andrew Toney is fouled. The officials for tonight's first game: Jake O'Donnell and Hugh Evans, with Jack Madden, the alternate. Magic Johnson commits the foul.
I think you'll see quite a bit of that. I think that Andrew Toney thinks he can score on anyone, and he's right most of the time, and he's going to test Magic Johnson.
He scored 46 points, not against Johnson, but against the Lakers in a game in March here. Cheeks hitting outside and missing. And we'll have a foul. It'll be on Magic again. That'll be 2. Loose ball foul. Two quick fouls on Magic Johnson. Mo Cheeks and Norm Nixon, the classic matchup at point guard. Toney guarded by Magic. He can hit outside and can go inside on you. And Julius Erving.
Well, Julius starts the game hitting a jump shot with the 2 quick fouls on Magic Johnson. If he gets any more, can really change this game because he's an integral part of the offense. And plus, he's such a good rebounder that he can really make a difference defensively, too.
Basket's going to count. And a foul to boot. This is the man they have to worry about. Billy Cunningham, no question about it.
Whenever you talk about the Lakers, that's where you start. Number 33.
Kareem on the line with Caldwell Jones committing the foul.
And that's offense and defense. When guys prepare for the Lakers, they have to prepare for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar offensively and defensively because he is such a dominant force in this game. Much more than you would think.
Kept alive, Andrew Toney. If he gets his rhythm early, he can be tough. That one drops for him. Andrew Toney, who was the 6th man during the regular season, but forced to start when Hollins got hurt, as you saw at the top of the game. That basket will count, and the foul as well. Magic Johnson gets the basket, and Andrew Toney the foul. And if you want to talk about foul trouble on Johnson, Sixers have to worry about Toney getting into foul trouble.
There's the move by Magic. Never takes his eye off the target. Great concentration.
And Earvin Magic Johnson, who was the most valuable player in the playoffs 2 years ago, the first one as a rookie to be named, puts the Lakers in front 6-4. Minute and a half gone by, first period. Bobby Jones was free under the basket. And Johnson has to pick him up as Bobby's shot is short. Tipped out, controlled by Philadelphia. Julius Erving.
Great offensive foul by Julius Erving.
Look at that move. The doctor can beat you 100 ways, and that's the most popular. Wilkes. And Rambis, the rookie, missing inside, fighting for the loose ball. Philadelphia ball.
Now here's that super move by the Doc. Right by Kareem there. That's just beautiful.
The only thing that Julius Erving is missing is a championship ring, and he's getting off to the kind of start that says, I want to get that ring this year. He's 3 for 3 from the field, and the Sixers are up by a bucket. Norm Nixon. These teams split in the regular season. Nixon in and out. Wilkes. Quick passing by L.A., and that's what it results in, a basket by Magic inside.
That one extra pass that L.A. made then, although Kareem might have made that shot, is the kind of thing they have to do because Philadelphia is such a good lateral defensive team. Here's that play. Here's that passing on that last play. Nixon takes a shot. The rebound comes out. Wilkes passes out to Rambis over to Kareem inside the Magic.
But it was Rambis who got the quick pass over to Kareem that made it all work. The personal foul was on Jamal Wilkes' first. Team fouls, 3 on the Lakers, 2 on the Sixers. 9:14 to go, first period. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. And the Doc in and out. Rebound Wilkes. Norm Nixon. The heart and soul of the running game for this Los Angeles team. Rambis, who does the dirty work, saves it. Barely. Pat Riley off the bench. Former broadcaster and assistant coach, now head coach. Replaced Paul Westhead in November. Offensive foul against Norm Nixon. Ran into Cheeks.
Dick, I've noticed on the defense that the Lakers, in double teaming, have left Tony wide open on the weak side. Now, he hasn't taken that jump shot right away, but he's got the shot.
Tony trying to get free of Norm Nixon. He's trying to post Nixon low, which means under the basket. Caldwell Jones misses the shot, and there's the top rebounder getting the boards, Magic Johnson. Nixon coming back 3-on-3. Rambis inside gets the bucket. So that's one thing, despite the basket, that Philadelphia has to do is get back quickly on defense. Otherwise, they'll be burned.
Because the Lakers run a time fast break that comes in stages.
Cheeks is shooting over Jamal Wilkes. Bobby Jones puts it through. Our third tie of the game right now at 10 with 4 minutes gone by. Bobby Jones in his 8th year from North Carolina. Tony doubling on Jamal. And there's the sky hook missing, and Julius Erving gets the rebound. 3-on-1 break. Cheeks has it. Most of the time, the Sixers will get the break on the steal. That time, they did it on the rebound by Julius.
Well, they break much better when Julius comes off the rebound than any other guy, because he can take that first 2 dribbles out and he can run all the way with it. But he passes off and fills the lane as well as anyone in basketball.
And a foul call against Caldwell Jones. It is Jones' second personal foul, and that bears watching. Jones fouled out in the first of the 2 games the teams played this year. It was a double overtime Los Angeles victory in which Kareem scored 41. Good pass into Wilkes. Darryl Dawkins is off the bench getting ready to come into the ball game. We are in our 4th deadlock already, and we have more than halfway to go in this first period. Wilkes is guarding Julius Erving. Jones on Rambis. A lot of time on the shot clock, the 24-second shot clock, and Tony hits. When he gets his rhythm early, he's tough to stop, even when you hit him. He'll end up with 3-point plays. Rambis is called for the offensive foul. They call him Clark Kent because he reminds a lot of people of Superman. He was a player who was signed as a free agent in a long shot to make the Los Angeles team. He played in Athens, Greece a year ago, and when Mitch Kupchak went down with a knee injury, Kurt Rambis was there to take over. Are we seeing 2 of the quickest and fastest breaking teams in the league? We're seeing 2 of the sharp shooting teams in the league. Look at the top shooting clubs in playoff championship series history. And in 1980, both LA and Philadelphia were up there. Notice how few teams get into 50%, and as Bill mentioned, that's because of the good defense. And Los Angeles this year shooting the best in history at a gaudy 53-4. Both teams off to a hot start too.
You know, both these teams want to run and stop the other team from running. But also, these teams are, I guess that's why they're here, they're also as good as executing the half-court offense as they are running the fast break.
There's Ralph Sampson from the University of Virginia, who's decided not to come out this year in the hardship draft and will play his senior year at the University of Virginia. And he could be a member of the Sixers next year. He might have been a member of the Lakers in this draft. We have a foul inside. Darryl Dawkins is coming the ball game, and we're going to focus in on Darryl because he could be an important factor. He is one of 3 players in the NBA who went directly from high school into the professional ranks. And Dawkins, who has had some good games against Los Angeles, is in there now guarding Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Maurice Cheeks misses, and Kareem gets the rebound.
And the outlet and the fast break is going. Yes, super pass by Magic Johnson.
Jamal Wilkes gets the bucket.
And he caught Maurice Cheeks peeking and looked back to see where the ball is, and he passed right over his head to Jamal Wilkes, who was breaking down the lane.
Bobby Jones at the foul line comes back with a jump shot. Philadelphia leading by 2. Nearly halfway through this opening period. Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series. The Lakers and the 76ers. Magic harassed by Tony, gets it into Rambis, and Rambis gets the bucket. He scored 16 points in one of the games against Philadelphia this year, and that was a season and career high for him. Rambis, just a rookie, originally was a third-round draft choice by the Knicks. Dawkins with a move inside. Darryl Dawkins, many times misunderstood, but I'll tell you one thing, I don't think Philadelphia could ever have a chance of winning without him.
Yeah, he contributes a lot to this team. When he's out there and when he's playing well, this team is almost impossible to beat. And I still haven't figured out exactly what he does that makes him so tough when he's out there. But I know that when he's out there, they're tough.
Andrew Toney left uncovered, right side of the key, hits, and he's buried a couple already. Andrew Toney has 6 points.
And they've been leaving him open a lot because they've been double teaming, and he's been free.
And we have a foul against the Sixers, and getting set to come in and entering the ball game is Bob McAdoo. And what a great story he is, because McAdoo had to bury his ego after being the top dog on 5 different clubs. One-time Rookie of the Year, MVP, All-Star performer, and scoring champ. He wants a championship. Bobby Jones gets a breather, and Mike Bantam, who was acquired from Indiana when Darryl Dawkins got hurt, is in the ball game. So the chess game begins. Off the hands of Jamal Wilkes. Maurice Cheeks leaves it for Toney. And another turnover. This time it's Johnson. 2-on-1. Dawkins the only man back. Kareem hooks it in the lane.
Sky hook from any place. That shot looks so difficult, but for him it's so easy that he would prefer that to almost anything except a dunk, I think.
Into Dawkins. Dawkins is going right at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he has his second bucket.
And one of the reasons Dawkins has been successful with that shot is that he goes right at Kareem, and it goes at a weakness, which is the lateral movement.
There's Michael Cooper, who's outstanding sixth man. Cooper emerged as an offensive threat this year, but he is a defensive specialist, and he's going to be perhaps guarding Andrew Toney, and Toney singed them this year with his 46-point effort. One of the few bad shots put up by Norm Nixon that you'll see. Toney pulls up with a jump shot. He's on, no question. Andrew Toney, who is 21 for 29 in his 46-point game, has hit his last 4. Keep in mind, L.A. against a tough Philadelphia team defense, and that foul will be against Dawkins. He has had a history of getting into foul trouble. For Darryl, that's his second. Team fouls right now are 4 apiece. Make it 5 on Philadelphia, and McAdoo will go to the line to shoot, 1 in the penalty. Philadelphia has the biggest lead right now. 6 points.
This guy's one of the great players when he was a young player. He went through to a couple of bad teams and got a reputation, but he is the happiest of his career because he's so close to a championship. And he has been tremendous help to the Lakers during the playoffs, coming off the bench and averaging in double figures.
One thing the Lakers have lacked, perhaps, has been a deep bench and a man to come off from the forward or center position to score. He fills that need. 4-point Philadelphia lead. Mike Bantam. This is the shot. Bantam has lost his confidence shooting in the Boston series. And there's a steal by Julius Erving and a 4-on-2 break for Philadelphia. Look at that. He means business.
At both ends of that, he steals the ball and ends up taking the dunk shot. And I mean taking it, too.
Turnover Story. McAdoo and Bantam, one of the better defensive players, traveling against McAdoo. So Bantam held his ground, and a good defensive move. Billy Cunningham, who was on the last NBA championship team that Philadelphia had back in 1967. He was the 6th man on that ball club.
This Philadelphia team may be the best defensive team in basketball right now because they are so good defensively, and it's deceptive.
Cooper coming back into McAdoo. Good pass by Cooper, and Andrew Toney was limping and is limping slightly. And Billy is saying to him, you want to come out. 4-point lead for Philadelphia under 3 minutes to go. First period. Game 1 of the championship. Clint Richardson will come in, and Tony's going to get out, and it'll be interesting to see what Tony's condition is as Dawkins now with 6 points.
And he's playing with great confidence. Like he's not worried about getting the shots blocked or anything. And that could create a problem for the Lakers. Because if he's playing with confidence, then he can be really effective.
So when Caldwell Jones picked up 2 fouls, that gave Darryl Dawkins a chance to come in the game, and he's made the most of it. 2:37 to go in the first. Bill, your impressions of the first period, and off the top with Philadelphia leading, I think the Sixers are not awed at all about the rebounding battle. I know against Boston they had that problem, but they seem to be a lot more confident off the rebounding boards against Los Angeles.
Well, the Sixers are not ordinarily a good rebounding team. So if they're 3, 4, or 7 rebounds behind, that's not bad for them. And in fact, that's a strong position for them to be in. And I thought that their quickness showed itself the first quarter. Their good defense, they came up with a lot of turnovers that they created, and they rebounded a little better than they usually do. But the outstanding thing to me was the way that Darryl Dawkins started the game.
And he came in early because Caldwell Jones had 2 personal fouls. Andrew Toney throws up a rare air ball for him. By the way, Philadelphia, talking about rebounding, had 6 offensive rebounds in that first period. Turnover story, Los Angeles turned over more than they'd like by far.
And I think that the first quarter turnovers by the Lakers may be a result of the fact that they've been in this layoff. And it's hard to keep your game tempo just practicing.
Dawkins against Rambis. He is a confident fellow, says he's not 100%. He broke shin bone in his right leg and missed 28 games this year. Missing outside. Nixon. Bobby Jones. That's the transition game that Philadelphia does so well. And Jones is a key man when it comes to that.
Right. When they get their break running, Bobby Jones runs a fast break, runs the lanes so well because he knows how to time himself. He doesn't run full speed all the time, but he knows how to have those bursts of speed that free him for the layup.
Rambis off the glass. Dawkins. Banham, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Philadelphia can establish their biggest lead of the ball game if they can score here. 7 seconds on the clock. Toney to Bobby Jones. Dawkins left of the key. Banham, offensive rebound. Tip in. Mike Banham and Pat Riley disgusted right now as the Sixers have opened up an 8-point lead, but let's caution you right now, this is the kind of series that a 10-point lead is not going to mean that much.
Now, Mike Banham just showed some of the reasons that the Sixers picked him up. They didn't pick him up for his shooting. They picked him up for his defense and offensive rebounding.
Now they've called another offensive foul on Kurt Rambis, his second offensive foul in the ballgame.
Now, here's the call. The push off there. He has the ball. Now, there's the hook with the elbow. That's what they called.
Awfully subtle.
Yeah, subtle like a freight train.
Under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Plenty of time. Clint Richardson has his shot blocked by Bob McAdoo. And
Yes, he'll do those kind of things, son.
Cheeks, Irving, and Caldwell Jones all on the bench for Philadelphia, and they have an 8-point lead. So they're making hay with some big people sitting it out. McAdoo has his shot blocked out of bounds. It is still Los Angeles ball, and here comes 7'2" Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in the ball game. He scored 5 points and had 2 personal fouls, and he'll come back in the ball game.
The 76ers had 3 guys with over 100 block shots this season, and that's the anchor to their great defense.
You're looking at the top rebounding teams in the league this year. Los Angeles was 2nd. Philadelphia was 20th. But the rebound story in this game off the offensive glass shows Philadelphia with the edge. And when they've had the offensive rebound, this is how they've converted into points. 14-2, which is even more impressive as Dawkins comes back with Clint Richardson, Bobby Jones, Mike Banham, and Andrew Toney. Interesting that Norm Nixon has yet to hit in 4 tries from the field, and Nixon established a career-high 31 points against San Antonio. Kareem, as we mentioned, back in the ball game at center.
And again, I want to emphasize, I think that some of the problems that the Lakers are having is because of layoff. That's not one of them.
Kareem scored 41 points, and whenever the Lakers needed points, they got it from him. Dawkins trying to get free. Now Tony playing the baseline. 8 seconds. This is a well-executed ball play. Dawkins turnaround jump shot hits. They worked the clock that time and worked it well. And Darryl Dawkins has 12 points on 5 for 9 shooting.
And I think that the Lakers, as a team, if the Sixers in the half-court game use up a lot of the clock, they may frustrate him a little bit.
There's that Cooper loop that they call. The only play they run for Michael Cooper. It's the old alley-oop, which they call the Cooper loop. McAdoo picks up Tony. Cooper guarded by Bobby Jones, or Bobby Jones trying to get free from Cooper. Gets the pass. Nice pass from Tony and converts inside. They took advantage of that mismatch.
When Bobby Jones set that pick and they switched, they took their time to take advantage of it. Came up with an easy basket.
Tony has 5 assists. Cheeks has 11, or 6 for a total of 11, and they've matched their biggest lead, and Dawkins is hit with the personal foul. It is his 3rd personal foul.
And this is a normal situation for Dawkins. Here they are, getting to know each other. Say, here we are in the playoffs again. Let's get to know each other. Oh, there you are. And there's a jump shot.
Darryl Dawkins goes out of the game with 3 personals and 12 points. The basket was scored by Norm Nixon, his first of the ball game. And the personal foul on the Sixers. Julius Erving has come back in the ball game. He has scored 8 points, all in the first period. Tony has his 2nd foul. Jones goes out of the game. So Banton, Caldwell, Jones, and Julius Erving are up front now. So C. Jones is in there with 2 fouls. Dawkins on the bench with 3.
And there's that trapping defense that the Lakers used. And to that, they think that they can rattle the Sixers with it, especially when Maurice Cheeks is not in the game.
4 minutes gone by. In the second period, Dick Stockton and Bill Russell from the Spectrum. In the low to Kareem. Caldwell Jones there for the rebound. The all-time defensive rebounder for Philadelphia, Caldwell Jones. Biggest lead has been 8. Blocked by Kareem out of bounds. He was 3rd in the league in blocked shots this year.
And he just announced to the Sixers, I'm here defensively too, fellas.
Caldwell Jones has been effective as an outside shooter when he's been open, and others have been double-teamed in this series. Out of bounds, LA ball. Let me ask you this. Have you seen the same kind of double-teaming on Julius Erving and Andrew Toney as we've seen the other teams, as Cooper misses?
Not quite the same kind, but they do double-team these guys because they feel that you get your guys in foul trouble if you don't do that. And they don't want to neither team wants to get any of their players in foul trouble, so they double-team to save that.
You saw them double-team Tony, but he got the ball away to Mike Banham, who's come alive offensively with 6 points. Kareem tried to put it in, and there you can hear it all the way up to the last row as Banham hit Jamal Wilkes. Mike's 2nd foul and the 3rd team foul. Billy Cunningham, the first coach, reached 200 wins faster than any other coach in league history. And his opposite number, Pat Riley,
who I think has done a remarkably good job with the Lakers. Now, there are some people that think that all Pat Riley has to do is roll the ball out there and say, okay, guys, when you get through, let me know. He's doing an excellent job. He's coaching just enough and doing, I think, just a marvelous job with his team.
He took over in mid-November from Paul Westhead, and the Lakers won on 11-2 tear at that point. Julius in and out from the corner, and here comes Cooper. There's a 4-on-2 break. Norm Nixon to Cooper. Look at the pass back to Jamal Wilkes. That's the Laker break. They're all built like greyhounds and whippets, and you saw the fast break there. 6:45 to go, first half.
You know, it's really funny, Dick, to talk to the coaches, and they both say the same thing. We want to run, but we don't want them to run.
Julius finds an open Caldwell Jones, blocked by Kareem. And Erving goes up and draws the foul. We saw a great pass by Julius Erving and a great defensive play by Kareem inside.
Good pass. Caldwell Jones tries to dunk it. Kareem is there. You don't see that a lot of guys blocking dunk shots. But it happens in this league.
Timeout, 6:31 remaining in the first half. Biggest lead has been Philadelphia by 8. It's 6 points right now. Just the start of things in this series.
Now this is a typical Los Angeles fast break. They like to get the ball down, they get the rebound and go out, and they get the ball to the middle, and then they fill the lanes. Now that pass is a very dangerous pass they just made, but they're so good at it that they were able to get it through. Now, Philadelphia would prefer to use the fast break going down the sidelines, but the Lakers like it going down the middle. Philadelphia like to use a sideline fast break. They both work quite well, too.
Turnover story. Los Angeles has already turned it over 10 times. Philadelphia protecting the ball much better. Jamal Wilkes committed that last foul. It was his second foul and the first team foul on the Lakers. And Julius Erving is shooting too. Lionel Hollins, who of course has tasted the championship grape with the Portland Trail Blazers and has been a starting guard for the 76ers until he broke his finger against Atlanta in the playoffs, is in there now, and he's a fine defensive guard.
You notice that you see turnovers and it'll be a real huge difference. A rebound, there'll be a big difference, but you look at the score, it's pretty close. Because the way these teams play, Los Angeles will turn the ball over more because the way they run the fast break. They will turn the ball over more just making bad passes, but because they have to throw some bad passes to make it work for them. And so it's not really a vital statistic.
Give and go to Michael Cooper on a fine play and one of the basic plays of basketball from Kareem. Here's the loop pass. Julius misses inside. Look at the speed of Nixon. Well, he cut through about 3 or 4 players, including Hollins. There you see the Los Angeles bench. Kurt Rambis and the rookie Mike McGee, and LA has come within 1 point after trailing by 8. Keep in mind, a big lead like 10 or 12 points is not that meaningful unless it's toward the end of the ball game. Not the way these teams play. It'll be an LA foul.
21.
It's a warning on an illegal defense. And it was called against Michael Cooper, who wasn't guarding anybody. Now there's a foul, and it's on Michael Cooper.
Michael Cooper likes to think he's guarding everybody.
Outstanding defensive guard, and this year, because in training camp, honed his shooting eye, became quite a scorer. Scored 31 against the Celtics in a big game this year. No basket as Erving gets in. The foul was before the shot.
And you're seeing some pinpoint passing because the Lakers are playing good defense. But in a half-court game, one of the things that makes Philadelphia so tough is that they time their passes so well.
2 personal fouls on Nixon. They have no one with 3 fouls. Rambis, Wilkes, Kareem, Nixon, and Magic all with 2. Notice Kareem is not giving Caldwell Jones that outside shot. Thrown away by Hollins. The loose ball, Nixon. Hollins knocks it away, but Nixon recovers. Magic didn't have control, and here comes the Doc in the open court. He's something to behold. And it'll be a blocking foul on LA, and that'll be their 4th team foul with 5:03 to go in this first half.
And that was a classic example of their sideline fast breaks. He takes it down the sideline, and then he gets in the attack area, then he goes to the middle. And there's a foul on Michael Cooper.
So Cooper now has 2 fouls, and Julius, who missed both of his free throws the last time he visited the line, will go here. He was the 5th leading scorer this year. He was 10th in block shots and was 76% from the free throw line, which is a good percentage. Claimed the most exciting player ever, perhaps. Already has been named to the all-time NBA team, and he's still active.
And so is Kareem, who's also very active.
You might say. Kareem at the other end. So there we saw 2 active players at both ends. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Sixers are up by 1. Cheeks and Nixon in that big matchup. Bantam swinging it around to Hollins. Hollins hits the shot. That's important because Hollins had lost his shooting eye because of that injury to his finger.
And there's a good example of the 76ers defense. They get back on defense better than any team in the league. Because they're so quick and so fast, plus they anticipate. Because they're not a good rebounding team, as soon as they think that one of their teammates is going to shoot, they take off to get back defensively.
Norm Nixon, top of the key, hits. So Norm Nixon now with 7 points, leading scorers for the Lakers. Kareem with 9.
And there's that trap again.
For Philadelphia, Dawkins with 12, Irving 10. They want to give it to the guard. Cheeks to handle the ball.
Now, what they have not done well so far, they haven't attacked that press after you get the initial pass back by the two guys.
Hollins, all the way. He's hit 2 in a row. So Lionel Hollins, who averaged nearly 11 points a game.
What you want to do is when you get past that first guy, is go to the basket as soon as possible. And that way you get a 2-on-1 fast break almost.
They got a 3-on-2 here. Mo Cheeks carries it all the way. And here comes LA right back on the break. And Philadelphia got back on defense. Caldwell Jones with 2 blocked shots. And we'll have a foul. But Caldwell Jones, who was 9th in the league in blocked shots and a quiet, brilliant defensive player inside, whether he plays center or forward. Almost unnoticed.
That's his 3rd foul, but that's a great defensive sequence there. He blocks the shot there. Wilkes comes up with it. He blocks another one. The ball's in still. They kept the ball in play. He's going after the ball. Trying to come up with it.
Dawkins comes back in. He's hot with 12 points and challenging Kareem inside. Caldwell Jones with 3 fouls, so that could be a story here. The Philadelphia centers, each hampered with 3 personal fouls. 3:35 to go in the first half. 5-point lead for the Sixers. Cooper, and the rebound Jones. Cheeks, 3-on-2, now 4-on-2. Dawkins let the ball get away. Johnson, deflected by Dawkins. And at the other end, a foul. Kareem, if you want to see end-to-end basketball at its finest, you're watching it here with the Lakers and the Sixers in Game 1. And now you know why they're the 2 best running teams in basketball. Shooter, over 70%, makes 1 of 2, and now has 10 points to lead the Lakers. The only lead LA has had was 10-8 in the first period. Jones' shot is blocked by Michael Cooper. And Cooper at the other end. The basket counts and a foul. Can you believe this non-stop action we're seeing?
There's no chance to relax. There's a pass from Norm Nixon to Michael Cooper. And now Hollins was still there, so they call the offensive foul.
This is incredible. This is just Game 1. So far, coming off the bench, Philadelphia reserves have outscored the Lakers subs 22-10.
And the key man of that has been Darryl Dawkins. He got off to a good start.
Bantam has 6-2.
And he has 3 fouls, which is quite normal for him. That's not an unusual thing that they don't expect.
By the way, Hollins had an earlier foul, and Cooper was called for charging to bring you up to date on the personal foul situation. Darryl Dawkins outside, put through by Julius. Irving now with 14 points. Leads everybody. Matches the biggest lead of the ball game for the Sixers with less than 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Nick Stockton,
now,
Bill
I
Russell.
think it's important that the Sixers maintain this lead the first half because it's very important they don't get the Lakers going halftime on a roll.
McAdoo's miss. Cheeks to Bobby Jones. Basket good and a foul. Bobby Jones, quietly, or maybe not so quietly, Russ, has really been the key to the transitional game of Philadelphia going from defense to offense.
couldn't hear you, Dick. A little too much noise in here.
Talking about Bobby Jones and how important he has been in the transition game for Philadelphia so far.
Oh, he's a very integral part of that. In fact, I'd say that he ends up with more of the dunk shots on the fast break than anybody on the team except maybe Julius.
McAdoo's foul was his first. Both teams in the penalty with just about 2 minutes now remaining in the first half. McAdoo double teamed and Hollins gets the ball away. A big steal by Hollins and McAdoo gets it right back. Magic Johnson trying to get it to Wilkes. And Hollins was fronting Wilkes. And now a 3-on-2 break. And Cheeks slows it up. Dawkins down the middle. Slam dunk goes off. Here comes LA with Wilkes ahead of Hollins. Cheeks picks him up too late.
Dale Dawkins took off a little too far out so that he had to throw that dunk shot a little bit.
Philadelphia, biggest lead was 11. The rebounding story is even. 1:20 remaining. Looping into Dawkins. And Dawkins, 14 points here in the first half. He and Caldwell Jones are playing with 3 personals. And the two of them, of course, not out on the court at the same time. Dawkins up front with Julius Erving and Bobby Jones. Double team on Magic Johnson. Dawkins knocked it away. It's still LA ball. Dawkins and Kareem, the two big men battling.
And they are really getting to know each other there. Now, as Dawkins getting a lob pass, goes up, makes the layup.
And Dawkins goes out of the ball game. He's replaced by Earl Curidan. So we're going to get our first look now at Earl Curidan, who is in his second year from the University of Detroit. He had 13 rebounds in the 2 games against the Lakers this year and played pretty well.
And now both times down, for the rest of the quarter, the Sixers are going to try to take their time unless they have a very definite fast break so that they can leave with a good lead at halftime.
Hollins, wild shot. McAdoo clears it. They give it to Nixon.
That's not the shot they wanted.
Nixon, Johnson. And a jump ball, and the reason for that is because Nixon fired off the pass to Magic, and he just didn't have the control he wanted to go to the hoop.
And that was a super defensive play by Bobby Jones, because if he hadn't grabbed the ball, it could have been a foul. But once he had his hand on the ball, then the contact is incidental, so it's a jump shot.
Bobby Jones and Magic jumping. They're going to jump it again. High scorers right now, Erving and Dawkins, each with 14 for the Sixers. Bobby Jones has 11. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 10 points to lead Los Angeles. 24 seconds to go in the first half. 18 now on the shot clock. There's a 3-second differential between the game clock that you see and the 24-second clock that the Lakers are operating in. McAdoo setting a screen outside for Nixon. Cheeks fighting through, has him. They have 1 second to go, and they're not going to get it off. 24-second clock expires, and now the Sixers have 2 seconds to get a last score. Turnovers the difference. Los Angeles 15, Philadelphia 5. And Philadelphia has doubled LA's output on the offensive rebounds as well. 20-second timeout called for by the Sixers, and Billy wants to set up that last shot.
He wants to get Andrew Toney on a 3-point shot, if possible.
Andrew Toney, second in the league in 3-point percentage, and a tremendous explosive player. And Julius Erving has said, wait till you see him as he develop. You know he's a great player, but he is a dedicated performer. And for Julius Erving to single out a guy like Andrew Toney says a lot about the second-year performer from Southwest Louisiana.
And what he means by that is, as Toney learns to pick his spots, when to shoot and when not to shoot, and to test the defense so that they can't double team him all the time and just know that he's going to do one thing, then he becomes such a threat psychologically as well as physically.
Well, Hollins takes the shot and misses, and that's the end of the first half. So, for the first time since the playoffs started, the Los Angeles Lakers find themselves trailing. The score is 61-50. The Sixers lead the Lakers. As you look at the halftime statistics, the 76ers shooting at 50%. The turnovers, the big story there. The rebounds are even, but the offensive rebounds favor Philadelphia. Now looking at the scoring, Kareem has 10 points. Nixon has 7. Magic has 7. And you look at the rest of that scoring. Now for Philadelphia, notice Bantam has 6. Lionel Hollins, who they've gotten very little out of, since his injury and since he returned to action, has 4 points and pretty good balanced scoring. The one thing Philadelphia has to worry about has been mentioned. The 3 personal fouls on Caldwell Jones or Darryl Dawkins, but don't forget Earl Curitin can also be a factor there. That is one world championship that the 76ers have won. However, this is their 3rd championship series in the last 6 years, and no other club can make that statement.
And one last thing, Dick. The bench scoring, Philadelphia normally gets more scoring out of their bench than the Lakers. Although since Bob McAdoo has become an integral part of their team, he's picked up the pace and did a lot of scoring for their bench. But before McAdoo, they didn't expect much except for maybe Michael Cooper. And excuse me, Dick, they only run one play for him, and that's the alley-oop or the lob pass.
Second all-time scorer, Kareem, and 4th quarter history of coming through, rising to the occasion. But there are a lot of people out on the court that do that. Like Andrew Toney, who misses the shot, but Bobby Jones is free to tip it in. So the biggest lead of the ball game has been established on the first bucket. Bobby Jones, the man that all the coaches we've talked to all the year said, we've got to watch Bobby Jones. We have to keep an eye on him. Obviously, he's been an outstanding defensive player, all defense. He's watching Jamal Wilkes.
Almost a steal by Cheeks.
6 seconds on the clock. Wild shot put up, and Kareem gets an easy one. Right place at the right time. Kareem now has 12 points. Starting out, we have Cheeks and Toney in the backcourt. Caldwell Jones, Julius Erving, and Bobby Jones up front. Coming off a screen, Julius gets the offensive rebound and a blind shot on a reverse layup.
Wasn't quite blind, but
I don't know what he was looking at. Nixon penetrates and gets 2 back. You know, you can't savor baskets in this ball game because they come back at the other end within seconds.
You know, you see a shot like that, and that's 2 shots away now, and you're still thinking about that one.
This is the essence of the best of pro basketball, because just when you're talking about one play, another one. Here's traveling call against the Lakers. Let's see the fast break now.
Now here's that long pass. Julius has got to step on Magic. When Cheeks drops it out there, and he just runs right to it.
Julius has 18 points. Philadelphia with the ball again. 13-point lead. Julius against Jamal Wilkes. Doesn't fall. Caldwell Jones try to keep it alive, and here comes Magic Johnson. 3-on-3, and Wilkes in the lane. He's traveled. And LA's fast break a little out of kilter here as we start this second half.
And I think that the one thing that the Lakers have to be aware of is that the Sixers will be back on defense, even when they run the break.
18 turnovers committed by the Lakers, only 6 by Philadelphia. Alley-oop, Philadelphia style, and Julius Erving has 20. And a quick timeout by LA. This is a 20-second timeout. I'll see it again.
Now here's the pass right there.
The Sixer fans, as we said, when they left after Game 6 last Friday night, never expected to see the Sixers in this arena again this year. But here they are, and they're looking awfully good, leading by 15 points with 2 minutes gone by in the third period.
Now the Lakers are going to have to be careful. And that timeout that Pat Riley called was a very strategic timeout, because they have to be careful and not let these guys get away. Because you get a lead a little too big, and it takes too much out of you when you try to come back.
You said LA was a very smart club, but Philadelphia is also pretty intelligent. Nixon going to the hoop over Doc in a good play. So maybe they need Nixon to be aggressive, as Philadelphia needed Cheeks to be aggressive when they were playing Boston.
And what he did was not take the outside shot, although he had it.
Steal by Wilkes. Nixon has it again. Wilkes with a couple of fakes and a layup.
Norm Nixon just set up 2 quick hoops, and that's the kind of stuff you bring in. But he tried to go inside on both of them. And that's the important thing, is to get the ball inside and to make sure you get some points. But the key is they stopped the 76 at the other end, too.
Cheeks is wide open. And hits from the corner. Maurice Cheeks, if you think this is just a 2-man offensive club, just leave Cheeks and Caldwell Jones open for a while. They'll show you. Nixon misses the shot. Wilkes the offensive rebound. Jamal Wilkes, now with 12 points, has 4 already in this third period. And the lead is cut to 11, was 15. LA is led by 2 on 2 separate occasions. The last time was 10-8, so they've been trailing. Caldwell Jones. Nixon. Wilkes. Jamal now. 14 points is the high score for the Lakers. Irving with 20 leads Philadelphia.
And there's that devastating fast break in that it takes something out of you when they do it. It looks easy. It doesn't look spectacular, but it takes something out of you because it creates such a strain. When you know you're going to score, they may score in 3 seconds after that.
Tony feeding Caldwell Jones, and Andrew Toney made that play possible as Caldwell Jones has his first points of the ball game. He's one of the few players with more rebounds than points. Rambis double team for the moment. Cheeks is on Nixon. Personal challenge between the two. Kurt Rambis turnaround, and Magic Johnson fails on the tip-in. And they're going to fight and jump it up. Bobby Jones and Magic will jump it up.
Now here's Andrew Toney. Get the guys up in the air. Nice easy pass to Caldwell Jones, and he knows what to do with it.
Andrew Toney has 9 assists in this game, so he is a maturing player. He's better defensively. We know about his explosive scoring, but he has 9 assists in this ball game. And Philadelphia maintains an 11-point lead with 7:51 remaining in the third. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell at the Spectrum. We've had 6 ties and 3 lead changes, but all that was early. LA led by 2 points on a couple of occasions, but it's been Philadelphia and the biggest lead of 15 points. Right now it's 11, but the Sixers are in control, playing fine defense, forcing turnovers and dominating the offensive rebound. Caldwell Jones. Bobby Jones driving and draws the foul. He is looking awfully good in this game as Bobby Jones.
And that's one of the advantages of a mismatch. When you get a switch and you get a big guy outside, you take him away from his comfort zone and you go around him. And there's the foul right there as he went to baseline. 3
on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He and Cooper are the only Lakers with 3. Dawkins and Caldwell Jones each with 3 for Philadelphia. Bobby Jones will look for his 15th point and one of the best free throw shooters, 89% in the playoffs. Starting front line for the 76ers all started their pro careers in the American Basketball Association. Nixon draws the foul going up. Irving, Bobby Jones, and Caldwell Jones. Cheeks commits his first foul.
You know what's interesting to me, one of the sidelines is the fact that Norm Nixon and Maurice Cheeks both, I think, are underrated as players, are playing against each other. And when I say underrated, I don't mean that people don't think they're very good, but when they start talking about the All-Stars and the All-League team, these are not names that come up readily.
Right. And they each had their best years by far. Tony inside, got through, and stuffed through by Caldwell Jones. Tony is slow getting up, but he appears to be all right. He's been banged a few times in this game. Magic finds an opening himself, spins off, and Caldwell Jones uses finesse and not power on the defensive glass. Tony pulls up and hits another one. Andrew Toney, who inside is like Bernard King with muscle, and outside can hurt you.
I think Toney has to be taken out because I think he hurt his leg because he was thinking to Billy Cunningham as he's running up court.
And Clint Richardson's going to get the call right now. And where would Philadelphia have been without Clint Richardson coming off the bench? Toney will go out, but the Sixers have matched their biggest lead, 15 points. The last personal was on Andrew Toney, his third, and he's gone out of the game. But here's a sequence right here.
Now, he's hurt a little bit, as you can see him limping. Now, what he's doing now is he's playing with pain. Not necessarily playing hurt. He's hurt, but we don't know how serious. He's asking to come out of the game there. Now, he gets back on defense. Now, that's what I mean by playing with pain. Now, he knows his leg hurts, but he goes and finishes the play until he can get a timeout.
Maybe that's the kind of thing Julius Erving's talking about.
That is the kind of thing that Julius Erving's talking about.
Ice pack on the left knee of Andrew Toney.
And I sure hope that is not serious. Whenever I see a knee or something on a knee, it kind of frightens me.
Clint Richardson comes back into the ball game. Not an offensive threat, although he's been one of the leaders in the offensive rebounding department. Kareem may start to assert himself more. He has 14 points. Pat Riley from Schenectady, New York. His opposite number, Billy Cunningham, grew up in Brooklyn. 13-point lead for Philadelphia. They've had things their way in this ball game, thanks partially to Bobby Jones. He has been active, playing both ends of the floor as he does, with 17 points now.
And that was a classic example of what makes Julius Erving so tough. He sits there and he knows that once he makes a move that they're going to double team him. And Bobby Jones just went to the empty space on the baseline and got an easy jumper.
Kareem on the give-and-go back baseline to Wilkes. They've run that play a couple of times to success. Jamal now with 16 points, 8 here in the third period. We're nearing the halfway mark of this third period. Wilkes has hit his last 4. Bobby Jones double team, but over Kareem anyway. Bobby Jones scores.
And again from Julius Erving.
Smart, hitty, unselfish. Bobby Jones 8 for 11. A good shooting night. In the middle, Wilkes. Basket will count and a foul, so Wilkes now is on a hot streak now, has hit his last 5. Andrew Toney comes back in the ball game, and Clint Richardson will go out. So Toney apparently is all right, and that's good news. Bobby Jones commits the foul, his first. Team fouls right now with 5:46 remaining in the third period. Sixers have 3, and the Lakers 1.
And Jamal Wilkes has been leading the Sixers in scoring in the playoffs.
Yes, he has. He scored 36 against Philadelphia in the 6th game on the deciding game of the '80 championship when Magic Johnson had 42. Irving going after the loose ball, and they fight. Nixon comes out. Here's a Laker opportunity now, but Philadelphia again back on defense to their credit. Magic inside to Wilkes. Wilkes can't make it. Knocked away by Magic. And Wilkes forced the foul and did a nice job of just getting the ball up to get the foul called on Bobby Jones, and that is the 4th team foul on Philadelphia.
And what Wilkes is doing is something that he is not known for, is hitting the offensive boards.
He's a lot stronger and tougher than he appears. He looks like a reed out there, but he can be tough inside.
He's a very deceptive man, and you can't play in this league an 82-game schedule without being strong and having great stamina.
And Jamal Wilkes now with 20 points and 8 rebounds. And when they call his nickname Silk, he is quiet, smooth, fluid, and you don't know he's got the 20 points. Loose ball, and it's LA ball.
And they made the Doc change that. There were about 8 guys waiting to block that one.
11-point lead. At one point was 15. Kareem skyhook. If you want Kareem to take the shot, they prefer it from the other side, not the right side of the hoop.
And he preferred from this side, so that's where he took it. And I say took it because he took it.
He's in his last 4 and a 9-point lead. 4:45 remaining in the third period, so the Lakers are making a run at the Sixers right now. Quick passing and a wild pass, but saved. 3 seconds on the shot clock, and Julius for 3. And Kareem has it. So Los Angeles is making their best run of the night, perhaps. Nixon. Philadelphia foul, and that'll be their 5th, and will put them in a penalty. And more important, Andrew Toney has now 4 personal fouls.
And that's one thing that makes Norm Nixon so tough. You know, as I was talking about earlier, saying he was underrated, is that he can bring that ball up by himself as quick as anyone in basketball. I think the only guy that does as well is Gus Williams. And he creates the same kind of problem, though, because what he does is not necessarily look for his shot.
Mike Banham has come in for Julius Erving and goes out with 20 points, so now the Sixers will get more beef up front.
And that takes away from some of their speed, but it adds to their rebounding.
Banham scored 6 points in the first half. Lionel Hollins, who had 4 in the first half, coming in. So they brought in 2 defenders and a rebounder, in essence.
Well, you know, when you make substitutes as a coach, you have to balance it off for the things that makes your team effective. You got to have good rebounding, you got to have good defense, and someone who can put the ball in the basket.
Well, Toney and Irving are on the bench right now, the 2 biggest producers for Philadelphia. They've got basically a defensive team in there, and a steal by McAdoo, and it's recovered in the backcourts.
And he kicked the ball.
So Hollins and Cheeks, Caldwell Jones, Bobby Jones, and Banham is not your real offensive powerhouse in there. Nixon. Jump shot, and LA making a run. Norm now, 16 points. 6-point deficit now at 1:15, and we have 3:45 remaining in the third period. This is where the Sixers need to stop Los Angeles, and they have the people in there to do it, but they've got to do it. Traveling call, and LA is on a roll right now. 9 points in a row, and a chance to narrow the deficit to 6 points or 4.
And they're playing outstanding defense because they're not. If you get inside, Kareem is making you change your shots, and he's going for the sky hook.
Kareem does exactly that and hits, and it's a 4-point game. And Julius Erving is getting the quick call back in the contest. We have 3:15 to go in the third. And there's the Doc getting set for action. Kareem has hit 5 in a row, and Philadelphia's lead has been whittled to 4. Collins inside to Caldwell Jones, a big basket.
Because what the 76ers were just missing was a pure shooter, a good offensive run there.
Fall away by Nixon. LA had scored an 11 in a row before Caldwell Jones' basket, and then Nixon gets 2 back in a hurry. It's still 4-point lead for Philadelphia. And an LA foul, only their second team foul. And it'll be on Norm Nixon. Julius Erving will come back in the ball game. We have a timeout now. 2:47 to go in the third period, and I think an important part of the game is upcoming now.
Yes, because the Sixers have to hold them off now.
There's our score. Philadelphia on a run has scored 13 of the last 15 points in the ball game, and in this LA has an 85-81 score. A third period dominated by 3 players for the Lakers: Jamal Wilkes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Norm Nixon. Nixon has 11, Wilkes has 12, Kareem has 8 for all of the 31 points the Lakers have in this period with 2:47 to play.
Now it's important, that very important part of the game, that the Sixers are able to beat them back once again.
Well, how are they going to do it? They have, now Erving is back in the ball game. They need defense, and they've got to get on the defensive board again. They haven't been able to run lately. Holland.
That's not the way to get in.
Here come the Lakers running. You got a 3-on-2. Johnson back, and Wilkes the trailer, and it's a 2-point ball game.
And the reason it's not the way to do it, when you take a jump shot from 15 to 20 feet, you get a long rebound. And it's the easiest rebound to fast break with. It's a long rebound.
Julius was free, and Caldwell Jones misses outside. So again, that's not what you want. Philadelphia comes up with it, and Mike Banham is off the rim. And now it's Los Angeles ready to tie the ball game up, and they do, and a chance to take the lead as Bob McAdoo on the fast break. And LA here in the third period with quite a run has tied the game at 85 for our 7th deadlock and a chance to break it.
Now here's the long rebound. Nixon has, he's out running the break. Pass right there to Wilkes, following up on that fast break.
First tie since 16-16, but the Lakers have the ball. The last time the Lakers had a lead was way back in the first period at 10-8. We have under 2 minutes to play in the third. Loop it into Kareem. No way to stop this one. Second effort, and the Lakers have their first lead since the first quarter, 87-85, with 1:45 to go. Philadelphia had a 15-point lead, and they've lost that. Mike Banham to Hollins outside. Dawkins is in the ball game now. He challenged Kareem effectively early. Hollins threading the needle, and Dawkins loses it. And it's saved? No, to Philadelphia. Banham is fouled inside. It went back and forth. Both teams had their share of possession, and it'll be a foul on Jamal Wilkes.
And the Laker defense is just incredible. They're not letting Sixers get any easy shots. And when they miss the long shot, they're off and running.
Third team foul on Los Angeles, and the third personal on Wilkes. No one has 4. Kareem, Wilkes, and Nixon have 3. Mike Banham was 3 for 14 from the line in the Boston series. Now, his free throw accuracy includes Milwaukee and Atlanta too, and he makes them both. LA has outscored Philadelphia 19-4, and we have another tie, our 8th of the game. There's the trap by Philadelphia with 1:20 to go. Dawkins denying or trying to deny Kareem the ball, gets it to Jamal Wilkes, and Dawkins the rebound. That's what Dawkins does. He gives you the bulk and the presence inside. Hollis. And Magic, he's tough when he gets the rebound. Out of the pack, 2-on-1, Cooper. And the Lakers lead again.
And when Magic Johnson gets that rebound and comes out that way, that's when the Lakers are at their best on the fast break. The only guy that does it as well is Norman Nixon, because he brings that ball up by himself so fast.
Kurt Rambis getting ready to come back. He has not played in the second half, and now Kurt is coming back in the ball game. We have a foul on Bob McAdoo, his second foul, and now that is the 15th foul on the Lakers, and Mike Banham will go to the line. And Banham made his 2 free throws, and perhaps that will help his confidence. 48 seconds to go, third period. And of course, the Lakers know the man to foul if it comes to that.
Well, he's getting a little better rotation on the ball than he was before. He's not shooting that brick up there now. He's getting a good rotation, although he missed that one.
Dawkins and Kurt Rambis are knotted together like a couple of chains. No foul called, and it'll be Los Angeles ball. 45 seconds, as you see in the third, and a 2-point lead.
Now here they were both playing ring around the rosy.
Dawkins, of course, looking the official, hoping he doesn't get his 4th foul. He has played this period with 3, so is Caldwell Jones. Tony is the only player with 4 for Philadelphia. Jamal Wilkes, there he is. Jamal Wilkes had his best year last year, slowest start in the first half this year, but came on strong. 22 seconds to go, and a whistle and a foul. It'll be against Philadelphia, or against McAdoo, I should say, against Los Angeles, and it'll be Irving at the line, 1 in the penalty.
Now, one thing that the Sixers can do now, I think is essential, that Maurice Cheeks gets more aggressive offensively. Now, here's the foul as McAdoo just put his arms around him a little bit.
They call a foul on Cooper. So there might have been simultaneous fouls, as we saw in the replay, but Cooper has his 4th foul, and that could be serious. 14 seconds to go. The Lakers protecting a 2-point lead. You look at the final seconds of the clock. They have it all to their use. Magic coming around a screen is Jamal. Irving stays with him into Kurt Rambis. And Wilkes with 1 second to go misses, and that'll do it. Wilkes had 16 points in the third period to wind up with 24, and he's the game-high scorer. So, after 3 periods, the Lakers have forged back from a 15-point deficit to lead by 2, and the NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. Jamal Wilkes was the chief culprit against Philadelphia. Kareem was there as well, and Nixon has 11 points and 5 assists in that period. So how do you look at the 4th right now?
Well, I thought the key was the way Kareem closed down the middle, and the Lakers took advantage of the fact that the Sixers could not get any good shots, and they worked their fast break to perfection. So now in this last quarter, the Sixers are going to have to be a little more aggressive offensively, I think.
Is Philadelphia, despite that run, not in bad shape, trailing by only 2?
It's a 2-point ball game, and if you work it, if you get yourself together, you're right in the middle of it.
There you see the big 41 points in the third for the Lakers. Wilkes alley-oop to McAdoo, and McAdoo didn't quite do it as they do it on the chalkboard, but got the points anyway. Bob McAdoo in the ball game has 10 points now. And the biggest lead of the ball game, matched by LA, 4 points. And Julius is blocked by Kurt Rambis and fouled by Rambis.
31, up in here.
And you see Julius is screened out fairly well by Jamal Wilkes, but he still comes up with the rebound. And there's the foul right there.
Rambis is third, and Julius on the line. He already has 22 points to lead the Sixers. Took charge in the 7th game against the Celtics and was restrained after. That's the class of Julius Irving. He didn't gloat. He is having a tough time at the free throw line, however, in game 1. 4 for 7, now 5 for 8 from the line. Kareem getting a breather. He has 20 points and 3 fouls, but He should be a factor before this one's over. 3-point LA lead. Hollins is guarding Magic Johnson, but they'll switch. Tony is on Cooper. Wilkes and Julius. Bantam and McAdoo. Dawkins on the turnover to Julius Erving. Cooper backing up, and Mike Bantam inside. This is a reverse layup. Bantam is really struggling offensively. And Wilkes back to McAdoo and a foul. Dawkins is jumping up and down. If it's on him, it'll be number 4. He went through the entire third period without committing a foul.
And he did a good job as he could possibly do on that fast break. Here McAdoo runs the break, gives it up, and keeps going and gets it back. And there's Dawkins right there on the block and right there.
Caldwell Jones replaces Mike Bantam. Caldwell Jones has 6 points in the ball game and has been a consistent rebounder for Philadelphia, has 7. McAdoo makes the first one, but with 5 clubs before he was acquired by the Lakers from New Jersey on Christmas Eve, and what a Christmas present he has been for the Lakers. 5-point lead and 12 points for McAdoo. Biggest lead of the game for LA. Less than 2 minutes gone by in the final period, and a turnover. Tony lost it out of bounds. Lakers ball.
And this kind of thing has happened to the Sixers in previous series. That they reach stretches where they just can't put the ball, just can't get the ball in the front court.
Cooper on a perfectly executed play and a pass from Johnson with the middle open, and Billy Cunningham has a familiar frown. Timeout. Biggest lead of the game. 7 points for Los Angeles with 10:31 to go. Seven-point lead for the Lakers, and they've come back and taken the lead on plays like this.
Now they don't normally run plays for Michael Cooper, but he's there. He left Tony. He had him picked off by 3 guys. Just act like he was going away from the ball, and then he cut back. Now what has happened with the Sixers? There's Larry O'Brien. What has happened with the Sixers in the second half? They've had a breakdown defensively. Now their offense is fed by their defense. And when they're playing good defense, that feeds the offense. And they have broken down defensively, and that's why they haven't been able to score.
Maurice Cheeks back in the ball game. Andrew Toney, they'll need his points, and that shot is deflected. Rambis coming back, and Kurt Rambis gets the layup.
And a great play by Michael Cooper. He got the block shot. He never came down with it. Just fed it to Kurt Rambis on the break.
The Lakers are shooting nearly 70% here in this half after hitting 45% of their shots in the first half. Maurice Cheeks misses, and right now Philadelphia having problems scoring, and the Lakers are not. Nixon, 9-point lead. What a turnover this has been. Turnabout from a 15-point Philadelphia lead to a 9-point LA lead. Bobby Jones fights McAdoo for the ball. McAdoo wins and hits. 14 for Bob McAdoo, and the Lakers are opening it up now to an 11-point lead. We want to remind most of our viewers, local news will follow us, and on the West Coast you'll see Magnum PI. 9:34 remaining. Philadelphia had a 15-point lead with 6 minutes to go in the third, and now it's an 11-point Laker lead at 9:34 in the game. There's been a dramatic turnabout in shooting and in turnovers, and that's why LA has outscored Philadelphia 33-7 in the last 8.5 minutes, and that's a 26-point swing from a 15-point deficit to an 11-point lead. But there's a lot of time as the Lakers now trap more. Cooper almost knocked the ball away, and Bobby Jones called for traveling. Another turnover.
Now with the Sixers are going to have to pick up the pace defensively. As I said earlier, they might want to try a half court or some trapping just to get their rhythm defensively, because that, as I said earlier, that feeds their offense.
9:15 to go in the fourth period. Bobby Jones trying to steal it from McAdoo. 10 seconds on the clock.
And I guess it's safe to say that the Lakers now have got their playoff legs back.
Rambis with 12 points. No one's talking about the 11-day layoff anymore. Julius outside.
That's not the shot they wanted.
And here comes Magic. They're not getting inside, and when they do, the LA defense just snuffs them away. Cooper outside hits. And the Lakers can do no wrong. Michael has 10 points, and the biggest lead of the game is 15. So we've had a 30-point swing in this game, and not that much time. Tony misses. Dawkins breaks the ground.
That was made possible by Bobby Jones.
Keep in mind, Kareem has been on the bench while the Lakers have run off this latest string. 8:20 to go, plenty of time, but the Sixers have to start turning it around.
Well, the Lakers have just been playing devastating defense.
And offense, not bad either. Nixon, 20 points. Wilkes has 24. Abdul-Jabbar and Nixon each have 20. Irving's been sitting at 23 as the leading scorer for Philadelphia.
Now, they've scored great, but you wouldn't notice that big difference if they hadn't been playing such great defense, and so that spread has been so great.
Sixers, though, are playing in their hands by taking long-range shots here. Cooper with a good fake on Bobby Jones. And a foul on Philadelphia. And Kareem now is coming back in the ball game along with Caldwell Jones, as Bobby Jones has just been hit with his third personal foul. Team fouls, by the way, right now. Los Angeles has 1. And Philadelphia has 2 as McAdoo gets a breather. He's contributed. He has 14 points, 6 in this period. Lionel Hollins.
And Michael Cooper, one of the most effective 6 men in basketball.
Play forward or guard, 6'7". Tremendous leaper. Really emerged as a fine two-way player this season. They trapped Hollins, looking for the open man, and it's Bobby Jones, but Kareem blocks the shot. How's that for frustration? Cooper on the other end. Try to get Rambis, try to fake out Lionel Hollins, and he couldn't. Hollins intercepted. Cheeks back. And he hits the long-range shot, but that's all Philadelphia's been trying, other than that attempt inside of his block.
Well, Kareem has decided that that's the only shot that they're going to try.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the game before, and they still didn't make it inside. Now it's going to be even tougher for him, I would think. Johnson loops it in, and Kareem had his hand on the ball, knocked away.
Good help by Bobby Jones. That's the key to that play defensively is timing. You have to get there just as the ball's getting there, because if you don't, it's going to be a foul most likely.
Keep in mind that the record is 9 for most consecutive playoff victories, set by the old Minneapolis Lakers. Steal by Nixon. 2-on-1, and Magic gets the hoop. 6:45 remaining, 4th period. 16-point lead for Los Angeles.
And now the clock is starting to work against the Sixers.
And they continue to shoot outside. Now Cheeks has hit 2 in a row. Billy Cunningham.
Now he's getting more aggressive offensively, and that can't happen. If they're going to make a run, he's going to have to set the pace for them. Maurice Cheeks, that is.
Caldwell Jones and Kareem elbowing inside. Cooper's fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Now here's Kareem trying to get position there. Caldwell Jones is trying to keep him going across. Cooper sets a pick. And
Heavy traffic.
Caldwell had to take the back way.
Irving's foul is first, and Michael Cooper at the line. You know, unnoticed a bit in this ball game with all the great scoring of Wilkes, Kareem, and Nixon has been Magic Johnson. Magic only has 9 points in the ball game, but he has 13 rebounds and 8 assists, which points up what the great players do. He has 11 rebounds in this half alone. They can contribute in so many ways other than points. Rambis knocks Bobby Jones, and so that'll be a personal foul, and that'll be the second on the Lakers in this 4th period.
And the Sixers are not making good passes. The pass is not. Now there's the foul there, but the reason that Rambis was able to get there to commit that foul was that there was not enough velocity on the pass.
We've had a 31-point swing in this ball game. One time Philadelphia was up by 15, and now the Lakers are 16 points ahead with 6:02 to go. It is not too late for a Philadelphia turnabout, but they've got to make it happen in a hurry.
And it's going to be very tough against this ball club that's out on the floor down to Los Angeles.
The Lakers finished winning 15 of their last 19 regular season games, and if you count the playoffs, they have an 11-game winning streak going. So they're playing the best basketball of anyone in the league right now, and following the 11-day layoff and perhaps rocky times in the first period, they're playing superb ball. 6 minutes to go, final period. Traveling call.
And what Billy Cunningham has done was put a full court press, and that's not necessarily to steal the ball. That's to get his club in an up-tempo position, because they were so, when they're walking the ball up and walking around, they are not at their best.
Hollins outside, loops it to Irving, and a collision. Kareem, Cooper, and Rambis were all around Julius Irving. And the personal is on Kareem, his 4th personal foul.
Now here's the pass into Juice. He has inside position, and there comes the weak side help. And Kareem hits him with the body.
Back to live action. Hollins pulls up with a jump shot. Lionel Hollins with 6 points. 12-point lead. And this may be the last run for Philadelphia. Jamal Wilkes in and out. But Kurt Rambis gets a big offensive rebound, and the Lakers will slow it up and use the clock. The long shot to make the team, Kurt Rambis, started 43 games in the regular season with Mitch Kupchak out with a knee injury. They had acquired him from the Bullets. Nixon in the lane and hits a big one.
And a tough shot, because Larry Cheeks was playing excellent defense on that play. Kept good position, had his hand in his face, and he still made it.
Cheeks gives up the dribble, and now to Doctor. With nearly 5 minutes to go, and a turnover, another one. And the Lakers have the ball, the lead, and the clock beginning to work in their favor. 14-point lead for Los Angeles. Kareem inside, and the foul before the shot. And that is the 4th team foul on the Sixers. Each team has 4. And Steve Mix, 34-year-old veteran from the University of Toledo, who hardly played the last few months of the season, is now in the ball game, and he's in for offense.
One important thing tonight is for the Sixers to finish strong. Whether they win it or lose it, they've got to finish strong, because if they don't, there'll be such a psychological disadvantage.
4:35 to go, and Cheeks layup inside. LA using the clock. Golden State, the last team to beat the Lakers. Jones all over Wilkes. 7 seconds on the 24-second shot clock. Kareem double team, long sky hook. Caldwell Jones the rebound. Nearly 4 minutes to go now, and Philadelphia brings it up, trying to cut it to 10 points. It is still Philadelphia ball, and Magic Johnson comes back in the game. Pat Riley's going to check some timeouts right now, and we will too when we get back. 4:02 remaining in the 4th period. The Lakers are up by 12. Dick Stockton and Bill Russell in Philadelphia. 4:02 remain. Philadelphia trying to make their last run, trailing LA 114 to 102. Philadelphia also has a 20-second along with their 2 timeouts. LA has 3. LA came from 15 back to 16 ahead and scored 39 points in 10 minutes in a great surge of defense combined with fast-breaking offense. Andrew Toney is back in the game for Philadelphia. They'll need his offense.
Yeah, they have to get points in a hurry, but they're going to have to play strong defense. They can't afford to let the Lakers get any more offensive rebounds, and they've got to make their shots. That is not a good shot.
Hollins misses from the corner, and Wilkes the rebound. This is game 1, best of 7, World Championship Finals between these clubs.
Now the Sixers, if they're going to get back in this game, they have to be patient and get the shots that they got in the first half. Bobby Jones along the baseline, and Andrew Toney when they run the play with the back pick for him.
4 seconds on the shot clock, and Kareem rolls it in for 2 big ones. So every time the Sixers miss and the Lakers score, it's another nail in the coffin. Going for three, Tony is fouled by Michael Cooper, and that's the 15th foul on Los Angeles. And that is also the 5th personal foul on Mike Cooper. So Tony, who's been held to only 10 points in this game, will go to the line, and Julius Erving will come into the ball game replacing Bobby Jones. Leading scorers in the game for Philadelphia, Erving has 25, Bobby Jones 19. For the Lakers, Wilkes 24, Abdul-Jabbar and Nixon each with 22.
And to say that the Lakers have taken over everything in this game would be an understatement.
Only one field goal since the first quarter for Andrew Toney. He's missed 9 of his last 10 shots. Cooper, Wilkes gets the offensive rebound and fights inside. And Erving the rebound. 3:08 to go. Still down by 12. Toney going for 3 here. He's got it. Andrew Toney, second in the league in the three-point shot. And a 9-point deficit. And Philadelphia picking up the guards early. Lakers are already in the penalty. Sixers have 14 fouls. And LA, no interest to run here. They just want to set it up and go to Kareem. Double team. And they'll have 5 seconds to get the shot off.
What the Sixers want to do is make sure that Kareem doesn't take the sky hook. You get there fast, have to force him to pass it. Although you're going to give up something maybe on the other side, it's better to give up something to make him have to pass, make that play, and make the shot.
Kareem way out high. And a foul. Los Angeles. And the personal fouls, Magic Johnson, his 3rd. So the Sixers get possession with 2:35 remaining in the 4th. They're down by 9.
Will Tony come down and take another three-point shot?
Lakers may be playing for it. They were that time. Tony double team. Looking for help. Julius, a three-pointer. No good. And Kareem and Caldwell Jones wins the fight. Great hustle by Jones. And Nix's pass is picked off by Cooper. And a big turnover, and Cooper anticipated that pass nicely. Lakers setting up in a high post for Kareem. Setting a screen. They switch. Johnson picked up by Caldwell Jones. Cooper hits the shot from the left of the key, and now Philadelphia wants a time, and their work's cut out for it.
Definitely it's cut out for him. It may be a little too late for him. But they still need to finish the game strong. Because in these games, as different than the other playoff games in the finals, the games are more connected.
You know, the Lakers have gotten the streak shots. They had, 16 points from Jamal Wilkes in the 3rd period and 9 points for Cooper here in the 4th. So they have gotten production, maybe not consistently throughout from all of their great stars that you talk about at the top, but in certain sectors throughout the game.
That's what makes them so tough, is that like trying to hold them is like trying to hold water. One of those guys is going to get free, and they usually do it in bunches. But the key is they play such great defense when they're doing that. Now, when I say these games are connected, if the Sixers don't finish the game strong, I don't say catch up, because that may be a little more than they can do. But if they don't finish the game strong, the Lakers, with their playoff legs firmly in place now, will be so tough in terms of confidence the next game.
Now, let me ask you this now. Now, here's a ball club that lost to Boston by 40 points in Game 1. They came back from they had a 3-1 lead. They were given up for dead. How do you think that Philadelphia could lose their confidence throughout, even if they don't finish strong in this game and lose to Los Angeles?
It's not a matter of them losing their confidence. It's a matter of the Lakers gaining even more confidence. And when you have confidence and you feel real good about yourself as a player, it's easy to play well. It's easy to make the plays work, to make the shots. Because it's almost like you feel as though you're conducting a clinic when you're going out there. It's so easy for you when you have complete confidence.
Under 2 minutes to go, Steve Nicks loses the ball to Jamal Wilkes. 1:45 to go. The LA Lakers, who had the second best road record in the league this year at 27-14, on their way to a road victory here. Here comes the Doc with a minute and a half. 11-point lead. 3-point attempt by Andrew Toney, his second of the game. 8-point deficit. Andrew Toney now has 18 points. He can pick them up in a hurry with those 3-pointers. Open Wilkes. Blocked by Julius Erving. And can they save it? No, it's still LA ball. Big block by Julius, but LA has it. And
as you can see, the Sixers have not quit. I think they know that how important it is to finish strong.
They never have. Wilkes will inbound. The Lakers shooting for their 7th consecutive road playoff victory, extending their own record. Nearly a minute to go. 8-point lead. Nixon to Kareem, hook in the middle. Magic Johnson keeps it alive. Well, Philadelphia in the first half owned the offensive boards, but LA has had the offensive domination off the rebounds and the turnover edge in the second half, and that's the time remaining, and LA can just about put it in the victory column. Now, I say just about because Andrew Toney seems to be on the mark from the 3-point range.
Well, he may have to save some of it for the next game.
In 1980, Lakers won in 6. Toney gets the layup. They'll give him 2 easily here. Strange game in that Philadelphia quickly lost a 15-point lead, and the Lakers just as quickly opened up a 16-point advantage at one point. And Hollins has to foul Kareem, and Kareem will go to the line to shoot. 1 in the penalty.
You know, the people in Philadelphia should be used to this almost, because the 76ers can play so great and then just get overwhelmed. But seems that they got to be ready to give up, and they never give up.
Did Philadelphia do anything different when they had the lead that you saw?
Well, they were playing better defense. And because this is one of the teams that their defense determines how well they play offense. And they had a breakdown, a real serious breakdown defensively in the second half.
Turn the ball over to Los Angeles. 41 big points in the third period for the Lakers. And that's been the key 12-minute stanza for them. And Billy Cunningham already may be thinking about adjustments for game number 2. And we will be here at the Spectrum, all of us, at 1 o'clock Eastern Time Sunday for game 2 of this best-of-7 championship series before the series move on to Los Angeles next Tuesday and Thursday night, beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. All of this championship series will be shown and carried live on CBS.
And the Lakers, as I said earlier, played this great defense, and that fed their offense, which is devastating. When they're playing good defense, they get so many points in their minutes, you can't believe it. You said, are they using 1 ball, or are they using 2 out there?
Foul at the other end. Lakers had the 3rd best record in the league. The Sixers are 2nd best. And as we pointed out at the beginning, as McAdoo comes back in, the Lakers will now have won all 9 of their playoff games this year, while Philadelphia defeated Atlanta in 2 straight, Milwaukee in 6, and Boston in 7 tough games. But Philadelphia was rested. They had 3, and I guess the game starting tonight with 4 days off coming into this first game. McAdoo replaces Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who goes out with 23 points and 7 rebounds and 4 blocked shots. Not a bad night's work.
And he was much more effective overall defensively than he was offensively. Although when they made that tremendous run, he wasn't in the game for most of it.
Final seconds. Bob McAdoo wants badly to win his first title, as does Julius Erving, and now the fouls, grasping, desperation time. And you're looking at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has won a championship in Milwaukee and 1 in Los Angeles, and would like to make it 3, all told. Michael Cooper will go to the line and shoot. 6 seconds to go. Cooper hits the first.
In his own quiet way, Michael Cooper's had an outstanding game, too.
3rd round draft choice. His first year really only played 3 games because of torn ligaments. He could start on most clubs, 6-man here. Final second, Steve Nicks hits the three-point shot. 1 second to go, and that's it. The Lakers, who won the title 2 years ago, 6 games over the 76ers, and were knocked out by Houston in a frustrating mini-series loss last year under Pat Riley, who started this year as an assistant coach, gets the measure of that man, Billy Cunningham, in game 1 of this best-of-7 series. Final score, Lakers 124, Sixers 117. The leading scorer, Nixon and Wilkes, each with 24. Kareem, 23 points. And they had 8 players in double figures, and all 8 men who scored for the Lakers. 7 players hit in double figures. Julius Erving had 27 points. Andrew Toney had 20 for Philadelphia. This is Dick Stockton for Bill Russell saying so long from the Spectrum. The final score, Lakers 124, Sixers 117.